メジャー翻訳速報。
メジャー翻訳速報海外の反応へようこそ。本日はドジャースがパイレーツとのシリーズで勝利した試合をお届けします。タイラー・アグラスノーが肩の不調で早々に降板するアクシデントがありましたが、ブルペンが見事に8イニングを無失点で踏ん張りました。大谷選手も2安打を放ち、チーム全体が好調な様子が伝わってきます。ご感想などありましたらコメントまでお待ちしております。チャンネル登録もぜひよろしくお願いします。
Tough situation to go. You need this ball game. You need this series. And they go out and fire 8 scoreless. This was an awesome job by the bullpen. And Ben Conspiracy, he really stepped up. They might need to put him in the rotation because he has starter characteristic type stuff.
Especially if it's a serious injury to Tyler Glass. Now the Dodgers will need somebody. But Andy Pages, have yourself a weekend. 10 hits in the 3 games against the Pirates. Right now he's standing by with Kirsten Watson. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry. Freddie Freeman on first base. I guess the ankle's feeling pretty good because Dino is going to send him on this play.
I love the aggressiveness. First of all, Freddie Freeman doesn't take anything for granted. Look at those long strides covering a lot of ground. Could have been a track star if he chose to, but he wanted to play for your show, Dodgers. Good to see scoring all the way from first base. Yes, he's healthy and rolling.
And the Dodgers get the 9-2 win. Your winning pitcher today out of the bullpen is Ben Kasparius. Let's hear from him with Kirsten and the media. Top tier stat line brought to you by Arco D-Train. You ever been this hot at the plate? I mean, I know you've been hot. 9 home runs in the show. And how about 10 for 12, though, in a 3-game series?
Nah, I've gone up against some people that's been that hot and been the victim of that. But I love what I'm seeing from Andy Pages. He's just playing with a lot of confidence, not only defensively, but at the plate. You're finally starting to see, Dodger fans, what we've seen in spring training and as he was coming up, how impactful he can be in that broship between him and Teoscar. You love to see it.
Jay, you're pointing at yourself. You had 10 hits in a 3-game series?
I believe so, John. I've done that a couple of times. I think it was the Colorado Rockies, but then again, who hasn't? Let's go to the Access 360 and break down why Andy Pages has been red hot. Remember, he is seeing the ball extremely well. Do not laugh at me, D-Train. That has happened. Fastball right down Broadway, does not miss it. He does not pull off the ball. He stays square. That was a line drive over the center field wall, head down on contact. Outstanding short swing. But look at his position he's in. He is balanced and is through the baseball once again. He also has a pretty good eye as well. Breaking ball, he hollers at, okay, it's okay, fouled off. First and second, 2 outs. Fastball, right back in the count, 1-1. Another fastball away. Now you're looking to drive a baseball 2-1. He gets a breaking ball. You don't want that pitch. You can spit on it, get back in the count here. 2-2. Now you go to fighting. This is what I love about Pages. He continues to fight. Could he put that in play? Of course. But he stays with the fight now. It's 3-2, I think, advantage. Pages gets a fastball up in the zone. 2 weeks ago, no way he touches that, but he's covering that pitch, and he gets a similar pitch and is able to rifle it 5.5 hole. Great at-bat, great approach. One more look at it. Look at the hands coming inside the baseball. He's getting the barrel to it. That is above the belt, but he is now covering that ball, and he's not trying hard to. He has confidence, understanding I can stay back, trust my hands, and when I recognize what I want to swing at, I can fire my hands. It is so fun to watch. I love young hitters fail a little bit early on in the season and come right back. Do not lose confidence. I'm telling you, this is going to really exude. Is that the word, exude, for this type of sense? Yeah.
He's exuding confidence right now.
He exudes confidence when he's swinging that bat right now. It's so fun to watch.
No, you know what we were seeing right now, though, and I love this from a young player. You're seeing the aha moment and knowing that he can be impactful not only defensively at the plate, shorter at the top, quick down at the bottom as far as his power in the nitro zone. And I'll tell you what, this is going to continue for the next couple weeks. I guarantee it.
All right, still more to come. I don't know about you guys sitting up here with me, but this called shot thing, it's awfully easy. I'm 2 for 2 the last 2 days, thanks to Teoscar Hernandez going deep for the 200th time in his career. We've got more reaction coming up. Hey, how about a dozen strikeouts from the Dodgers today? You can celebrate tomorrow. Go to Jack in the Box D-Train. Get yourself a free Jumbo Jack with the purchase of a large drink. Only at LA area restaurants. You can even add a couple tacos if you want.
And get some fries, too, on train.
That's on you, though. Today, Ben Kasparius, he carried the load. He had 5 of those Dodgers' 12 strikeouts. Teoscar Hernandez, my guy, my called shot. Went deep today. 200th home run of his great career right now. He's in the conference room talking with Kirsten and the media.
Well, Teoscar, today you hit your 200th career home run, so first, congratulations. Just to have an achievement like that. I know that you got the bat authenticated. I believe you got the ball as well. Just how special are those moments for you?
It is, you know, especially the way we play in the game right now. Everything is going the way we want it to go. Everybody's taking good at-bats and getting good contact. So for me, it's pretty special. You know, it's hard to hit homers in the big league, so getting to that achievement, it's pretty good.
What do you think clicked, I guess, for the team? Because you're right, especially in the last two games, what we've been seeing is just as a collective, this offense is really starting to turn the corner.
I think it's not thinking about ourselves, more about what can we do to help this team win tonight, and I think that's what has been working for us in the last couple of games.
All right, we saw Tyler Glasnow leave today's game after one inning, throwing up warm-up pitches there before the second inning. Shoulder discomfort. Let's hear from Tyler Glasnow right now inside the clubhouse.
Tyler, obviously we saw you come out of the game with just that shoulder irritation injury. Can you explain what happened and just how you're feeling at this moment right now?
Yeah, just frustrated, I guess. It's just at extension trying to throw, something grabbed. I think just making a lot of changes, trying to figure out a way to stay healthy. I think some of the changes have led to other things kind of taking over, and I'm just at this point, I'm just trying to figure out what to do, and it's just extremely frustrating.
Yeah. Are you having any imaging done to kind of get a better?
I'm not sure yet. I think we're just going to try and figure it out, give it a couple days and see what it is, but I haven't really talked to them about a plan yet.
Did you only feel that last warm-up throw, or have you been feeling it throughout the outing?
It kind of comes and goes, and I think, like I said, just some of the adjustments I've made prior. I think like I'll feel something that maybe changed something else in my mechanics, and it just seems like nothing has really been connected, but it was mostly warming up for that second inning.
The changes are like the non-weighted ball stuff and some of the stuff you kind of talked about.
I just think mechanical stuff, like anytime you change something I've done for a long time to try to prevent an injury, I think it's just other things are taking over, there's more stress on other parts, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Is it one of those things that like Dave kind of was aware of going in? That's why he kind of jumped out as quickly as he did.
It had been a little thing before, and it kind of had gone away. And I think making like subconscious changes over time, and it just for some reason today, all of a sudden in that second inning, like going out and trying to throw that warm up. I just think like maybe prior to that too, a few of the games just being a little hesitant, and then I don't know, all of a sudden in the second inning, it like really I started to feel it.
And we talked to Tyler Glasnow of spring training, D-Train. He was talking about that #1 goal was to stay healthy for an entire season after having the elbow tendonitis sideline him late last year. Made some changes to his delivery to be more athletic, to hopefully take some pressure off the elbow. Now he says some of those changes might be contributing to the shoulder.
You know, when I look at this season for Tyler Glasnow, he said it. It's very frustrating. And I'm sure it's frustrating for his teammates. It's frustrating for the fans because you see the makeup of the stuff that he possesses. And when he is on the mound and when he's healthy, he's one of the best arms in all of baseball. Something has to change, whether it's in the work ethic, the workouts, whatever you're doing with your shoulder program. Something needs to change because it's important for him because he's a weapon to at least get 20 to 25 starts in his young career and be able to throw more than 150 innings. I'm not that old school Jay here. I don't think that's a tall order, but something has to change either mentally or physically or maybe both in order to get him on the mound so he can be impactful.
I think you touched on it too. The throwing program or whatever he's doing with exercise, I know delivery he's changed, but that has to be fixed because he's just too talented of a guy, and we need him to be out there when he's asked to pitch and pitch deep in the ball game. Obviously, they didn't happen once again. I'm hoping that shoulder is fine because we need Tyler Glasnow.
All right, we'll wait further tests on Tyler Glasnow's shoulder. For Jerry, Don, Terrell, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow back at the stadium. Pregame begins at 6 p.m. Trains, Miami Marlins. You'll squad back in town.
Michael McHenry and Stephen Brault. I'm Rob King. You know, guys, you had a lot of momentum going into this series, and it's got to feel tough. It's got to be a long plane ride, I would think, coming home after, you know, the last, 11 innings that you played.
Yeah, I mean, it's real tough because if you look at the numbers, I mean, 25 hits for the Dodgers, 17 runs, 10 walks, 10 Ks. I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders when they walked in the box, they were doing damage. Yeah. And it started with Page, who I like to call pages, who just kept turning the pages of hits. He was a hit collector. These guys got locked in. I'm glad we're getting out of town. We need to because they are about to go off. Right.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit harder because if you remember, this game started with 2 home runs in the first inning by the Pirates off of Glasnow, and so you feel like, all right, that's a really good place to start. I feel like we're going to be able to really go into this series, maybe take the road trip, move on, and feel good, really good about what ended up happening. Unfortunately, obviously that didn't happen. The Pirates offense after that first inning just really couldn't get anything going. Not even any really big missed opportunities. Just a few double plays, of course, but that's going to happen through the course of a game. Just no really big threats anymore the rest of the game. And the Pirates pitching staff gave up some hard hits again. And that's just, it wasn't a good day for the Pirates. The Dodgers looked like the better team today, and there's just no way around it.
Yep, and so the game starts again in promising fashion, right? Tyler Glasnow's out there, and bang, the Pirates go back-to-back on home runs with McCutchen and Valdez, and then, Glasnow has to come out of the game, and Kasperius is in there, and you're into that bullpen early, and that didn't turn out to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how talented this Dodgers team is from top to bottom. Their bullpen is no exception. They're absolutely outstanding. Even their middle relievers are really good. And when this guy came in, he was just Casper the Ghost, just throwing up balls. We could not hit him at all. But Glasnow, right out of the gate, right? Great approach. This guy's down on his luck right now. His ankles bother him. Something's going on. He shakes his arm. That's why he comes out of the game. Kutch goes up there. Great approach. This guy's trying to place it right down the middle, letting the ball play. He was on the side of it all day long, so that really hurts that extension. And it was only 94 to 95 in this first inning, and we just clobbered it. Yeah. That's what you want to do, is get to the fastball as early as possible, knowing he's trying to go upstairs and try to lay up that breaking ball, but he couldn't land that early on.
Yeah, taking advantage of something maybe being off with Glasnow. It's exactly what you do. He gets removed from the game because we're not really sure. It looks like an ankle, calf. He got taken out of the game earlier in the season, and it was determined to just be a calf cramp. Based on the fact that that's the same leg and the same kind of things happening, I don't think that was necessarily true. You might want to get that looked at this point. But then Kasperius comes in, and man, he looked good. It's so weird to see a guy who all of his pitches move the same way. He throws a cutter, a slider, and a curveball. Every now and then he also threw a few fastballs, but really barely mixed them in. But everything he's throwing is moving away from right-handed hitters at different speeds. But his curveball was nasty. I mean, this guy ended up getting 8 whiffs, and it was all on those breaking balls because he has such good movement. He has a big old movement in his windup, which you don't see guys out in the bullpen. Yeah, pretty old school.
And tapping around looking for the rubber, it was bizarre.
Hey, that's a good way to cheat.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's what he was.
I'm not saying he was, but it's a good way.
You got to make people uncomfortable, And so Kasperius, with a lot of times you're going to say if a guy only has pitches that move one way, you can just sit on that and you can fight the way that, you can go everything to the right side. But when he's got good enough movement like that and he's able to play them off of each other, that cutter that almost rose up and then the slider that was sharp and that big breaking curveball, it gives you enough of a difference that it's hard to make a good approach on him. And so Kasperius really stepped up today for the Dodgers in a big way, and they needed it, because if they had lost this game, then things looked dire for them, but it's still something that could have been a huge turn for the Pirates, but unfortunately unable to take advantage.
And I love the fact that he takes enough time and sees the rubber. You know what I mean? Like, he takes that big step and then he's looking down, and then it's almost like he jumps at you. I mean, it's a different look. The guy pitched absolutely outstanding, and this Dodger bullpen's been worn to pieces early on in the season. So we did everything right. Getting Glass out of the game, you never want to see anybody get hurt, but we had plenty of opportunities with this baseball game early.
Right shoulder discomfort for Glass now, and then you're thinking the dawning of the age of Kasperius, right? That's going to be good for the Pirates. Doesn't turn out to be that way at all. He shuts him down. So hopefully Glasnow's okay for them. They do have other guys coming back healthy in their rotation soon. Bailey Falter, meanwhile, right out of the chute, 4 runs. Not all earned in that first inning, but you're looking for that shutdown inning right out of the chute, Steve, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, Bailey Falter, these last few starts have been a struggle for him. He's been giving up a lot of hard contact, especially early in the game, and another time that he wasn't able to get through the 5th. Bailey Falter, as a guy who we saw last year go deep in games more as the season went on, seems like at the beginning of this year, he looked really good. He was going deeper in games from the beginning. but we've seen the velocity down quite a bit. You know, last year you'd see him 93, 94. Some days he pops some 95s. Today everything was in that 91 range, a few 92s, but just not really what you're used to seeing from him. The sinker was not moving into the lefties as much as he wanted. That was that pitch that Ohtani hit. And then as far as, you know, Teoscar Hernandez just being a pirate killer, he's going to do that sometimes too. But you need to get that slider in. You need to get that curveball down. Falter ended up being all right after that first inning. He kind of settled in, started getting a little bit more comfortable, but still unable to really drive through those middle innings to give the Buccos a chance.
And you have to wonder about his back. I mean, he took himself out of the game, or maybe it's just precaution. The last game, really early, comes out here and he can't get down at the bottom. We know how good he is when he can get the ball down in the zone because it opens up upstairs. When you are just living there and you don't have 93, 94, it's very difficult against a good fastball hitting team. You look back to last year, 8 for 16 against that fastball. He had to use it a ton, and then the slider was like a BP fastball because he can't get here, and he threw one breaking ball below the zone. One.
Yeah, it's
one, and that makes it really tough because you're living right here against one of the best teams in baseball, owning those upper third quadrants. So good for him to get as far as he did. It could have been way worse.
Nobody owned it more than Andy. It looks like Andy, you know, Bob Seger turned the page, but it's turned the Pajes. We want to turn the Pajes on this guy because 10 for 12 in the series, 4 ribbies today, home run. This guy got really, really hot against the Buccos.
Line to line.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like, everywhere, and then a homer to center. I mean, this guy really showed out. He did everything you could possibly want a guy to do to show, hey, I'm here, I'm staying. I don't care if you bat me 9th, 6th, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come and be the same guy. And he did it with just a slow heartbeat, right? Still in home runs, doing everything properly. Just a great baseball player. You said the pregame show, Kinger, that this guy was a top prospect. Well, he just showed in every reason why, because he was doing them in a multitude of ways. It's not every time you get guys coming out showing the power, showing the speed, showing the defense. This guy did it all. And we're talking about the best team on the planet on paper, and we're talking about Pages.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you said line to line, right? How about pitch to pitch, too? It didn't seem like he mattered what you threw to him. He was going to be able to get to it. He got to pitches outside. He got to pitches inside. He got to breaking balls. He got to changeups. He got to fastballs. That's 98 from Kyle Nicholas up and in. And he just gets there. No, exactly. And so the approach for Pajes this series was get good pitches over the plate and hit them. And sometimes it's a simple approach like that that helps you be the best that you can be. It's the same thing that Frazier's doing right now, is just finding good pitches to hit, fighting off the tough ones, and eventually getting the one that gets put over the middle of the plate and taking advantage of it. That's the big difference. A lot of times in the big leagues, guys that you think of as really good hitters are just really consistent mistake hitters. Guys that, you know, like Ohtani's a good example of this. If you paint on Ohtani, he doesn't have a great time hitting, but he hits almost everything that you put in the middle of the zone very hard. And that's why those numbers are so elevated, because yeah, big leaguers are good at pitching, but they are not all great at commanding. Commanding is hard to do. And so if you can't hit the edge, Ohtani's going to make you pay. And Pajes did the same thing this series. Everything that was over the middle of the plate, he was taking advantage of, and he didn't miss it.
Pirates lose by the final score of 9-2, drop 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, 3-3 road trip overall between the Angels and the Dodgers in the 6 games.
Shelty, how nice was it just starting off the game with Kutch and Valdi going back-to-back there?
Yeah, I mean, we got off to a good start, you know, and then couldn't get much going after that.
Kutch 4 for 4 today as well. What did you like about his at-bats?
Good swings. I mean, Kutch is having good swings. I mean, bounce back. He hit the first 4 days of the road trip. I mean, he had been really hot. I think yesterday, you know, he went 0 for 5 and then rolled back out with 4 hits today. But he's having really consistent at-bats, and, you know, we need that in our lineup.
Were you guys at all surprised to see Glasnow coming off the mound, considering I know in his last start he might have had some trouble too?
Yeah, I mean, have no idea what it was. You know, I just saw Doc walk to the mound. I haven't gotten any reports on it right now, but I have no idea.
What do you think? What were you guys able to take away from this trip? I mean, stealing the first 2 games down here, stealing one on Friday, going home 500. What were you able to take away?
Yeah, I would prefer not to say stealing. I mean, I think we played well, and you know, we played well in 5 of the 6 games. I mean, honestly, I mean, last night we're in a 4-4 game in the 8th, and today we didn't play well. You know, we didn't pitch very well, and we only scored early. But I thought we played well the first 5 games of this trip, and I think it's something we got to build on.
Kind of give you a little bit of confidence heading back home with the matchups against the Dodgers and Padres.
We're going home and we're playing the team that's leading our division and the team that's leading this division. So, you know, we got a task ahead of us. But like I said, I thought we played well, you know, in 5 of the games, and we just need to continue to play better. Hopefully, offensively, it looks like we're getting more consistent as we get more healthy, which is really important. And then we just got to make sure that, you know, we get some other things scored away.
How good is it to see that pop from Valdez? I know we saw it a little bit earlier this road trip, but that was one big swing today.
Yeah, good. I mean, honestly, it seems to me, I looked up and saw that he only had 1 homer, and it seems like he's hit more balls hard than that, and he continues to have good at-bats. I mean, he's running out about a 760, 770 OPS. So as long as we continue to get those good at-bats, especially, you know, splitting him up between Kutch and Joey with the left-hander there, but it's good to see him start to take good swings.
What did you see out of Bailey in this one?
Yeah, it looked like he was really inconsistent with his command. You know, this is a place where you're a little bit farther away, and it's a little more challenging to see the zone, but it looked like he was really inconsistent. I mean, he went 0-2 to 4-2 to Shohei to start off, and then I think he did it to Edman at another point and just didn't look really that sharp.
That was kind of coming from the opposing dugout, but Andy Paez was, I think, 10 for 12 this series. What did you see from him at the plate?
He did not miss anything. I mean, I think maybe the worst pitch we threw him in the whole series was the one that Shug just threw him at the end. It was kind of a hanging slider, and he popped it straight up. But, you know, sometimes guys get in a tree, and he's in a tree right now, and he had really good swings. But, you know, it's one of those things where everything we threw at him, he hit.
Is it reassuring to see Colin bounce back like that?
Yeah, really big, you know, for Colin last night. Tough night last night, but to come out, you know, bases loaded, get a ground ball, then go right back out and get essentially 3 ground balls and at the top of their order. Yeah, that was a big bounce back and very encouraging for that.
今回のドジャース対パイレーツ戦、大谷選手の2安打の活躍や、アンディ・パヘスの素晴らしい活躍など見どころ満載でしたね。タイラー・アグラスノーの肩の状態が心配ですが、今後の試合にも注目していきたいと思います。この動画が面白かったと思った方はチャンネル登録、高評価お願いいたします。これからも MLB の最新情報をお届けしていきますので、ぜひ次回もご覧ください。ご視聴ありがとうございました。